Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back for another YouTube video. So in this video guys, it's a very interesting YouTube that I have for you, a very interesting video. I may be sailing a little close to the wind here, however we'll give it a go and see what happens. First of all, the title of the video says do not buy drugs with Bitcoin. First off, let me just start by saying I do not condone any kind of illegal activity. I believe in living by the law of the land. Yes, I am a libertarian, but I definitely do not, I'm not an anarchist. I do believe you should live by the law of the land. Doing things illegally doesn't tend to get people very far, and this video is really necessary about Bitcoin. Yes, I am telling you that buying drugs with Bitcoin is a bad idea, more so than buying drugs with another form of currency. I am, like I say, not condoning buying drugs at all. I'm very fortunate in the fact that I've never really dabbled with drugs. So I can't really talk about that whole side of things. However, what I can talk to you about is buying illegal things, not just drugs, with Bitcoin is a bad bloody idea. And the reason being is because Bitcoin works on something called the blockchain. Essentially, the blockchain saves every single transaction. Theoretically, you could pull up every single transaction and go through every transaction that Bitcoin has ever done since the conception of the Genesis block back in 2009. It's like this, guys. It's kind of like going to your drug dealer and giving him a $20 note, writing your name on it, writing what you're buying, being something illegal, and writing his name and putting your address and everything in there. And then when he passes that note on, he does the same thing. If that note ends up in the hands of the authorities, it's not going to take them long to not only confiscate that as a sort of proceeds of crime, as a profit from crime, but they are also going to be able to track down very quickly the sort of people who have been involved in that illegal activity and prosecute them accordingly. The most anonymous currency out there is the US dollar, or any form of cash in whatever sort of jurisdiction you're in. Like I say, I am 100% not recommending people go out and buy drugs. I don't think that's a smart idea. Like I say, I believe in living by the law of the land. I'm a law-abiding citizen. However, I've been seeing a lot of articles recently about the $1 billion seize from Silk Road accounts by the US government, around about 70,000 Bitcoin. So this would be worth probably more than $1 billion right now, because we have been looking in. I've made a video on Mt. Gox and how I don't think that that's very significant, the sell-off that might come from that and why it won't affect anybody long term, but I've made a video on that. And I think that was about 140,000 Bitcoin. So Silk Road essentially was a online exchange, a global online exchange that adopted Bitcoin as its form of currency. It was a marketplace to essentially buy illegal things, not just drugs. I mean, there's stories of hitmen being bought on there, guns being bought on there, etc., etc., etc. It was a very interesting thing. If the guy that created Silk Road had only been on the other side of the law, he'd be a very rich man by now. He made a lot of money from Silk Road, but of course, the moral of this podcast is crime doesn't pay, guys. It always pays you to be on the right side of the law, because you can't really fight it nowadays. Whether you think what you're doing is right or wrong, it doesn't matter. If it's illegal, it's illegal. If it's legal, it's legal. And essentially, he would probably be in the position of Jeff Bezos right now. He was essentially an early sort of marketplace person. The marketplace sort of works in a similar way to Amazon, except for you used Bitcoin and everything on there was illegal, and it was global, and it worked. Heard plenty of stories of people buying things off Silk Road, And it worked. And if like I say, if the guy had been on the right side of the law, who knows where he'd be right now? He'd be a very rich man. I think he's still in prison to this day. But the idea that you would buy something illegal with something that has its entire transaction history sort of saved is unbelievable. And these 70,000 Bitcoin that they have here, I don't know what the government are going to do with them. I don't know whether they're going to auction them off, or whether they're going to essentially save them and throw away the keys. I don't know what's going to happen with them, but like I said, as this video says, guys, buying drugs or anything illegal with Bitcoin is a very, very bad idea. The governments around the world all like to sort of throw shade on Bitcoin, or certainly governments that are opposing Bitcoin, especially if they have a failing system like the US dollar is, where it's just getting deflated. One thing they like to say is that Bitcoin is a sort of criminal. Criminals use it. I have news for you guys out there. Criminals use the US dollar more than any other currency out there. It's the most trafficked, the most laundered, the most illicitly used currency out there. Nothing even comes close to it, guys. And it is also the most anonymous thing. I could give a friend of mine $20 and nobody would know about it. Whereas if you transact in the Bitcoin network, somebody has to validate, a third party member has to validate that transaction, essentially. It's the whole idea of it being decentralized. There's no central point for it. Cash to some degree is decentralized as far as it can be transacted, and there's no between you and somebody else. However, it's centralized in the sense that it's printed and the sort of supply side of things. But guys, this was just a very fun video. Like I say, let me repeat again, I do not recommend buying drugs, illegal drugs. And I certainly do not recommend buying it with Bitcoin. That is a very bad idea. And the government have sort of somewhat threatened that if a Bitcoin that you have possession of at one point had been used in the proceeds of crime, somewhere linked to maybe Silk Road or something like that, it was used in Silk Road, then maybe that could get confiscated off you. So it's a bad thing for people that hold currencies who might be legal people, who don't venture on the other side of the law, who subsequently lose out as a result of you potentially buying something illegal that had nothing to do with them, but their Bitcoin is now getting taken because once upon a time it was used for something illegal. If that makes sense, guys. So like I said, I was just reading through these articles, cool little pictures here, and lots of articles about Bitcoin being used for illegal activity. The US dollar is the most used currency for illegal activity, guys, and then it's probably every other currency and then Bitcoin. It just so happened that Silk Road found it was one of Bitcoin's sort of first use cases, and it worked exceptionally well, guys. And yeah, so that's the video, guys. Like I said, I'm not condoning any sort of drug use. I don't stand for that. Yes, I am a libertarian. I believe that human beings should have sovereignty over themselves, and they should somewhat be able to do what they want, as long as it doesn't affect other people. I'm not an anarchist. I do believe in sort of rules. However, I am very much a libertarian, but I am definitely not suggesting that you buy drugs at all. I'm just saying Bitcoin is not the way to buy them, guys. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please leave a like. It helps me out with the algorithm. It's going to bring more people to my channel. That's the reason I ask you guys to do it. Comment and let me know what you think. Let me know if you found this interesting, funny, whatever. And subscribe for more videos, guys, because I'm bringing out videos at a very rapid rate recently. I've got a bit more time on my hands, and will certainly have more time on my hands over Christmas. And yeah, guys, share it with your friends. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, evening, morning, wherever you are. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, guys. Thank you.